What's up, YouTube? Speedmaster24 here with another YouTube video. Now, I know you see Code Sculptor, but this is actually a tutorial video for Code Sculptor. So, first things first, I'm going to bring up the docs and whatnot just for reference. But I'm going to be teaching individual topics in Code Sculptor for you. So, first things first, we'll start with the graphics modules and whatnot. So here in Code Sculptor, the first thing you ever want to do whenever you're making a program that involves a frame, you want to import simple GUI, the simple GUI. IMPORT You always want to do that. Now, if I were to type import Speedmaster24, an error be brought up because there's no module for that specific thing. Now, usually, if there's something that has a module with something that needs to have you import it, such as if I come to math, there's like import math and things like that. So, usually it'll say if you need to or not, but just keep in mind that you doesn't hurt you to import things for no reason. I mean, if I were to import math, another thing is import random. If I were to import those things, they wouldn't harm my project in any way whatsoever. Now, onto the frames. Now, you have to type in simple GUI first, and then create underscore frame. Now, you can see frame equals that, which means that that's like the name of it. So, as you can see here, frame.set, if I change the frame equals simple GUI to, let's just say start screen, I would have to change all of these to start screen.set instead, or whatever it was. Start screens.start, or whatever it is. So, you can just come to the docs area and copy and paste all this. But unless you know what it doesn't necessarily help to just do that. 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. And I'm back, YouTube. Sorry about that. Just had to deal with a few things. But it doesn't hurt you to import it. So you can copy and paste whatever you want from there. Now, you have that pasted, but something that you need to do is add the equal and whatever you're going to call it. I'll just do mine frame, just because. Why the heck not? So now you see these 4 different things. So I chose the one with extra option. You don't have to. It doesn't hurt you in any way not to do that, but you can if you want. So first you have the title of the frame. So for me, the title will be, let's just say start. Just because. I mean, this is the start screen. Why not call it start? Now, you can see I use double quotation marks. You can also do single quotation marks if you want. It doesn't matter for the name right here, but it will matter in other areas. Now, next, you have the canvas width and canvas height. Now, you want to delete canvas width and canvas height because that's how big it is going to be. Me, personally, I usually prefer like a 500 by 500. That may sound big. Oh, right. I forgot. So the control width here, since I didn't specify it, I will just delete it and get rid of it for now. But, so it says it's not defined. That's just because I haven't put anything in there for it. So you have your screen ready, yet if you were to press the run key, it wouldn't do it. Well, it would do it, but if you want anything else to happen, you need to do frame.start. So as you can see, this is 500 by 500. It's not too big. If you were to do, let's just say 5,000 by 5,000, way too big. I mean, you have to scroll through just to find in the screen. I mean, no one wants to play a game on a screen this big. No one does. So, I usually just prefer 500 by 500 because you usually have enough space for everything you need to do. Now, for the control width, you have to put a comma and a space between everything here. So for the control width, if I do 200, it doesn't look like anything changed, but if you look here, this is what changed. Now, control width can be good to do because sometimes your project will like overextend onto this area, and this area can be used for things such as labels, buttons, input areas, and other things like that. But for now, we're just going to stick with the simple things. Now, here, we have a project. And you can see the math and random haven't affected this at all. I could even delete them right now and rerun it. Nothing would change. Oops. Okay. So, now, let's see. Our project looks pretty bland, but it's a start. So what else should we do? Well, we can set the background color. Now, for the background color, you need to do whatever this is called. Let's say I changed it to Bob. It needs to be bob.set and whatnot, underscore canvas and underscore background. You need to have both of those, otherwise it will glitch in a way. Now, canvas and background can be changed if there's some sort of variable specifying that it can be changed. Now, you wanna always put parentheses on pretty much everything, but it'll be the few things that you don't want to are like import stuff and other stuff like that. So, parentheses, now you need to think of what color you want to do it. So, let's see. How about, I don't know, let's just do aqua. There we go. Aqua. Now, if we press run, it says it's not defined. And you may think, well, why doesn't it work? Because you always have to have the little parentheses there. You pretty much always use parentheses. Now, if you press run, it's like, why didn't my project change colors? That's because you didn't tell this to run. This runs itself, but you didn't tell this to run. So you have to tell it to run with frame.set. And you just put parentheses there, but you don't need to put anything else. Now, if you see what I'm doing wrong, well, good. So I run it, but it's like, frame is not defined, because the GUI is called Bob, not frame, which I know is funny. You have a frame called Bob. So you do bob.start. Ugh. Well, this is annoying. Here, we'll just change it back. We'll just change it all back to frame. Just to get rid of these errors because of that. But I don't feel like figuring out any... What do you mean? Oh. I meant to do start. My bad, guys. I didn't notice that. Now you see it changes color. Now, for buttons and other things like that, you can put a button there that can change the background color. I've done a gaming video where I've shown a few of the demos that control that. So watch my other videos if you want. Now, that's all for the frames and whatnot. Now, this, I just find it confusing. I find it best to leave it alone if you're still a beginner or whatnot, because it'd be better to do like your own testing and whatnot. So next we have control objects. Since I haven't been recording for too long, I'm thinking, I've been recording for 10 minutes. So you know what? I'll just stop the video here, and I'll be right back to explain the control objects.